this, as you all know, this is a Newcomers workshop, and we have three wonderful women that will be presenting. I think we're getting feedback. If you can mute yourself, that would be great. Okay. Yes, thank you. As I was saying, we have three wonderful ladies that will be presenting to us. They will be talking about different things ranging from navigating your career, developing elevator speech, workplace culture in Canada. We talk about different kind of things to help us to prepare for our career journey in Canada as newcomers. So without further ado, I will like to welcome Ms. Olaomi Afolabi Daniels to read the land acknowledgement. Mr. Afolabi, over to you.
Okay. Good evening, all. The land acknowledgement. In the spirit and intent of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's recommendations, we acknowledge the traditional indigenous territories on which we gathered at the beginning of all CMP meetings. By learning, understanding, and acknowledging, we wish to pay respect to top island Mother Earth and to the rich indigenous history of Ontario. We recognize that our work takes place on traditional indigenous territories across Ontario. We also wish to acknowledge that the CMP head office is located on the traditional indigenous territory of the Huron-Wendat Onoshoni, and most recently the territory of Misaga of the Credit. This territory is part of the dish with one spoon treat, an agreement between the Anishinaabe, Onoshoni, and allied nations to peacefully share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. This territory is also covered by the Upper Canada Treaty. We wish to express gratitude to the Mother Earth and for the resources we are using, and honor all the First Nation, Métis and Innu people who have been living on the land since time immemorial. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Alaomi. That's awesome. And at this point, I would like to talk a little bit about who CMP is and what are the things that we are doing, and what are the benefits of being a member of CMP. The main objective of CMP is to equip and to support Nigerian professionals in particular, and the people of African heritage in general. And this is towards their sustainable growth, the development, and also prosperity in Canada. Now, some of the objectives of CMP is to support the holistic well-being of individuals, whether we are looking at it in terms of their marriage or their families. We want to enhance the leadership and the career and the business and the professional development of our members. We also like to support new immigrants and international students. We also like to provide training and information on wealth management and financial empowerment. We also provide programs that enhance children and youth, and to provide better integration and understanding of Canadian multiculturalism and interfaith. Now, moving on, our main goal is to network to build professional relationship, mentoring new Nigerians and professionals and students, to build and nurture a professional image, to build a platform and avenue for disseminating information, the right information in our community, to showcase role models for our youth and the children, and to have a social, professional, and economic and political empowerment in Canada, and most importantly, to support our local businesses. So those are the things that we stand for as CNP. Now, looking at 2020, there are so many things that we did, and we think it is important for us to highlight some of those things that we did in 2020, especially for people that are joining us for the first time. Some of the things that we did in 2020, we gave $1,100 in bursary to 4 youth that participated in our Black History Month essay contest. We also donated money to faith-based communities during the pandemic. We hosted events, seminars, and workshops. We hired staff. We connected over 250 general members. We connected with them during the COVID over the phone. We paid services that are rendered by professionals and specialists in our community. We recorded our first CMP documentary high life music video, and we invite each and every one of you to watch it. It's pretty entertaining. We provided over 600 families with raw food stuff during the COVID. Subsequent slides, we show some of the pictures that we took during the events, just to remind ourselves that these activities that we are rendering, they actually go a long way. Moving on to the next slide. So these are some of the pictures that as I mentioned before, of 2020 events that we did, and moving on to the next slide. Some of the events, this is also some of the flyers of the events that we hosted in 2020. We had an interview, skills and branding. We did a vision board luncheon. And interestingly, I did that with my family too. We also have our vision boards, and we are checking it off and looking at it. At least I have accomplished 2 of my visions this year, so which is good. I'm working towards the rest. So I encourage you, some of these things that we do, if we just try, pick one of it or 2, it helps. It goes a long way. Moving on to the next slide. Now we're in 2021. So what are the things that we have done so far? We had a Black History Month celebration where we had an essay competition. We gave out bursary to the 3 winners, almost a total of $1,000. And then we matched the 3 winners with mentors for the year. Interestingly, the 3 winners their goal is to be medical doctors, and we were successful in matching them with professional medical doctors that will mentor them and give them career guidance. We had our maiden edition of the leadership series in March. We had the town hall in April, and I think a good number of you guys participated in the town hall, so thank you for that. And we are also planning to have our mentoring session, which will take place in May, which I will implore each and every one of you to either sign up on the mentorship form to be a mentor, a mentee, and because that event is going to be one of our star events for the year. Now, in addition to that, we are looking at doing different leadership series, Newcomer series. We're looking at doing CMP language school, which we look at different languages from Mandarin to Chinese to French language. We're also planning to do spring break programs. We will be looking at different social, economic, and professional programs, seminars and events, and also mentoring workshop. So in a nutshell, that's what CMP stands for, and some of the events that we have hosted during last year and this year up to this moment. Now, without further ado, I will like to introduce our first speaker, Mrs. Patience Iyase. She's one of the directors of CMP. She works with TD Bank, and she's an assistant branch manager. And she's one of the people that we look onto when we want to get something done. She's a doer. So now you can tell by the time she gives us some of the things that she's going to share with you, you understand why Patience is who Patience is, and you can learn 1 or 2 things from her. Each time I listen to her, I learn 1 or 2 things. So I think we are lucky to have her on our team at CMP. So without further ado, I will pass the floor to Ms. Patience Iyase to take over the floor. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. And thank you everyone for being here today, for taking time off your busy schedule to come and grace this occasion. We will say thank you and are really appreciative. The topic, the what we're discussing today has to do with newcomers, immigrant, whatever we call it. But new means something that is it's now has been foreign to us, but now we're trying to get used to it. So the question I want to ask my beautiful audience is, what do we intend to take out of this session today? I like an interactive conversation, so you could just type your response, one word, in the chat menu. I love to see what my audience is thinking while I'm talking. So the question, I want to have a bit of 4 or 5 questions today, but the first one is, what do we intend to take out of this session today? Why are we here? I believe we're all here for a reason, to learn something, to see, oh, are they going to say something new? Are they going to give me an information that's going to benefit me? It is my hope and my prayer that we achieve that today, because people pay for therapies for 20, 30 minutes, 1 hour. It's not just because they want to hear somebody talk. It's because they want to go there and see, can he or she say something that I can hold on to in my downtime and that will build me. So what do we want to take out of here? Do you want to leave here the same person we came in 10, 20 minutes ago? No. I hope by the time we're done in 2 hours, we all leave here with just one word, one sentence, one paragraph that is all going to stick with us and help us in our endeavors. That will be our goal. I will start by saying, I'm here to empower us all to the best of my ability, God willing. I hope to be able to translate the message I'm inspired to share today to make a difference in the lives of us. I'll be talking about how on becoming ungrounded. When we leave Nigeria for Canada, we believe we're coming to be landed, but in reality, we actually become grounded. I hope we leave here with takeaways that will serve as an addition to the knowledge that exists in each of us and every one of us. And I also wish to be used to assist us in making us ungrounded, uplifted, and empowered. Let us converse about who a newcomer and an immigrant is. On LinkedIn, recently, there have been so many posts talking about what an immigrant, oh, beautiful. Oluwatosin said she wants a career GPS. I hope I'll be able to provide the right GPS to direct you to the right spot today. Thank you for that comment, Oluwatosin. A newcomer is a person that has recently arrived in a place or joined a group. A novice in a particular activity or situation. Another word for a newcomer is novice, beginner, rookie, greenhorn, newbie, something new. While an immigrant is a person who comes to live permanently in a foreign country, somebody so brave that left important things back home. Sometimes it hurts, most times it hurts. Someone that even with an accent or a misused proposition is trying hard to give their best every day and put everything in place. Of all these words, one thing is common. They translate to an opportunity. They translate for an avenue for us to do better. They translate for something for us to look up to, because yes, it is telling us we have a new slate to build our story, to tell our story the way we want to tell it. As a newcomer, don't limit your aspirations. I will tell you today that making up your mind to migrate from Nigeria down to Canada is a growth mindset. And all the great leaders of today will tell you, for you to be great, you need a good mindset. Why aren't we celebrating? We already have a good mindset. Nobody has to teach us that. We only need to develop that part of ourselves. Let me start by saying, what is a good mindset? For some of us here that know what it is, but just want to hear me say it again. Good mindset people are permanently improving their intelligence and ability to learn new skills through hard work, training, and perseverance. They believe that learning does not stop the moment you leave school or university. They accept and even welcome failure as a means to move forward. Do you know what it is to welcome failure as a means to move forward? It means you know you're going to fail, which we all are at some point in our lives. But the good mindset person tells you, yes, I will fail, but I won't stay down. I will get up and move. Yes, I will fail, but I will not let my failure deter my problems. I will only let that failure become something that will propel me to get to my goal. For the sake of comparison, I will tell us what a fixed mindset is, which is the opposite of a growth mindset. A fixed mindset is a person that believes their attributes and abilities are inherently fixed, are okay, are enough for them, and will not change no matter how much you put in. I don't think any of us here is a fixed mindset person, because if you're a fixed mindset, you will never leave Nigeria for starters, because you'll be okay. Because I'm yet to see a Nigerian that was not comfortable in Nigeria before they came down to Canada. I am yet to see. Because the truth is, the fact that we are here, it means we're operating on a level of comfort back home. But we have come here to start from the scratch because we know we can achieve it, because we know we can get there, and that is a good mindset. Having that alone has already put you on the train of success, has already put you on the journey to that aspiration, that dream you've always had right from time. Some personality traits of a good mindset include, but not limited to, they believe intelligence and talent can be developed. They believe effort is a pathway to mastery. They believe mistakes are an essential part of learning. Views failure as an opportunity to learn. We believe failures are just temporary setbacks, and we embrace challenges. From what we've said so far, I've let us know why we are referred to as newcomers, why we are referred to as immigrants. But let us begin to look at that from the positive aspect of it, and not the negative. Oh, they have an accent. Oh, they don't know anything about Canadian experience. They have no Canadian knowledge. No, let's begin to look at it from the point of, I have landed and I have a growth mindset, and I'm ready to employ that mindset, employ that skill in me, because having a good mindset is a skill in of itself. Employ that in my journey to success. And that will bring me to talking about Canadian experience versus Canadian knowledge. We all know how to set job websites, but what some of us lack is how to extract the right information to match our skill set. When you're on a job website, the most important part is the role description and how we fit in, how our soft skill set from back home, which I'll be touching on today, is transferable to match the expectation of the organization. When I interview people, most immigrants, and they're telling me, oh, I have masters, I have PhD, I have 4 certifications, I say, excuse me, sir, your resume has told me that already. You don't need to go over that. I've had your resume for weeks. I've scanned your resume and I know all of your qualifications. But what I don't know are your skills. What I don't know is how you're going to transfer the skill you've developed back in Nigeria to the role I am interviewing you for right now. That brings me to the meaning of Canadian experience. Canadian experience is not well understood by immigrants and employers. Many immigrants or newcomers to Canada believe that Canadian experience means having work experience in Canada. No. They do not understand how they can be asked to have a Canadian experience when they have just arrived. But on the other hand, employers admit that many immigrants have hard skills, experience, and expertise. Many immigrants come here equipped with certifications, with degrees unimaginable. Most of the Nigerians that I know, they are always the most qualified paperwork in their different roles where they work. We are always the most qualified, but we're in a system where paper-based qualification doesn't push you forward. It doesn't. By the grace of God, I will share what I believe can push us forward today in the next 20 minutes that I'll be speaking. Question for you is, how many of us have experienced being told that we have no Canadian experience? I'm very sure at least 3/4 of us might have that experience. Royals Ade said they want tips to land the dream job. You will not only land the dream job, Royals, you will get to where exactly you want to be. You will get that job and you'll be the leader in that job. That is my plan for you today. The soft skills they are looking for are culturally embedded and can be different for different work environment. But soft skills in everybody is the same. It does not change. For instance, when you were a manager back in Nigeria, or when you were even a teller back in Nigeria, you discuss with disgruntled customers. At that point in time, you have become a conflict resolutioner. That is in itself is a skill that there is nowhere you can, be it IT, be it data, be it retail banking, be it in retail grocery stores, having the skill set of able to resolve conflicts is needed in every job specification in Canada. So already you have it. You have it. So that means you already have the Canadian knowledge. There are numerous employment programs focused on helping newcomers fill gaps in knowledge, or gain skills to prepare themselves for the Canadian job market. My point is, we need to focus on having Canadian knowledge as opposed to Canadian experience. Going to the groceries, conversing with the frontline workers, that is you gaining experience. Watching TV, knowing the different provinces, be able to strike up a conversation about weather in Canada intelligently. That is you having Canadian knowledge. You don't have to have that experience and limit yourself, tell yourself, I don't have Canadian experience, so I cannot go for this job. No. What they are looking for is a skill set in you that you can transfer into the role they are looking for. And when we're talking about development, focus, and networking, this is the objective setting process and will help provide focus that identifies and specific development in all of us. The most exciting thing about anything is a plot. In life, is a process, is a planning. Identify specific development and activities and behavior to achieve your goals and desires. Complete a self-discovery. This is the most important thing. I didn't know about self-discovery until I was like four years in Canada. But when my mentor sat me and said, Patience, I need you to discover yourself. Who is Patience? She asked me said, Patience, when you leave the room, what do people say about you? What can people say about you in 3 sentences? That is you. And when you go for an interview, that is what you should proudly tell the person interviewing you, that this is me. My name is Patience. I'm a conflict resolutor. I'm a people person. That I will be the hardest worker in the room. I am that girl. I'm that employer that you can say, Patience, I need this done. And it will be done even more than you imagine. That is me selling myself. This is what we all should own, acting on a plan. When you want to act on a plan to start your career process, to start your entrepreneurial business, whatever it is you want to go into, we need five steps. We need planning steps. We need to know yourself, and we need to research. When you research, the plate number of Ontario says Canada, yours to discover, and that is all called, that's also research. When you research, you are equipped, you become knowledgeable. Nobody's going to tell you, oh, move left. You're going to be, okay, I'm going to move left, but why do I have to move left? Because I know if I move left, this and this is going to go on. That is you employing your knowledge. Build attitude, set goals, and act. There are 3 things extremely hard: steal, a diamond, and to know thyself. Knowing thyself is one of the hardest things, because the truth is most times we don't have the time to sit down and know ourselves. Know yourself means being aware of your strength and your opportunities. Opportunities, people call it weaknesses, but I don't like using the word weaknesses, because when you say weaknesses, it means you have put yourself in a box you are not ready to come out of. But when you say opportunity, it is you realizing, I have stuff to work on and I see solutions to fix it already. There's a huge difference of it. Then people's opinion of you should not matter, but use their perception as a power tool. Perception, people's opinion, we try to mix both of them together. People's opinion, my boss's opinion of me, oh, Patience is too loud. That's his opinion. But his perception of me could be, oh, Patience is somebody that when you tell her, when you give her feedback, she takes feedback correctly. That is a perception that I would rather hang on and use it to strengthen myself. So when I go for an interview, when I go for networking, I know how to present myself. I know my strength, because the fact is, what people's perception about you is the actual you, because that's what they will say when you are not in the room. Development and networking, again, also brings us to where we talk about how prepared we are for our career or our entrepreneurial life. If you're not ready to give 80% of yourself to a role, to a job, don't apply to it, because you want to go in and let them see the best of you. Your career journey can be dynamic. Consider a lateral or even a lower level. It doesn't matter. What matters is you knowing thyself. When I came to Canada, I was back in Nigeria. We've already done the echelons of branches, works for so long. But when I came here, I started from a teller role. Why? Because I knew myself. That role that people spend years on, I spent less than a year and moved on. Because why? I was able to prove myself to my subordinates and my predecessors that I knew what I was doing. That I was there because I needed to learn, equip myself for the next levels as they come. Collective critical skills, e.g. change management, project delivery, customers experience skills. These are all skills that are inherent in all of us. They just have big names that confuses us. We all have it in us, and it's our ability to prove to the person that we're asking for a job for, excuse me, that we can do all of this. Sorry. Where do I want to go? Create an outline for your career path. What can you do to raise your professional profile? Who among my peers seem to be getting it right? Surround yourself with people who aspire you to do more, achieve more. If you are a superstar in your circle, you may want to change circles. Else, there won't be any drive for you to aspire for more, since you are in a comfortable position. And when you are comfortable in any stage in life, it means you have stopped growing. Create a success plan. It might be scary and not attainable, but again, if your aspirations don't scare you, then you haven't aspired great enough. I am working every day to be a better human. Your brand is who you are. You need to walk in your goodness and greatness. I am authentically me, no matter what. Always be you, because it's the you that got you to where you are today, and not what you think you have gotten educational, your paper certification. Canada is not based on what you know, your paper certifications. They are based on how you can apply yourself, how you can join their team and grow their team. They don't want you to join their team and bring down the morale because you are not a team player or you're not a people person. No, they want you to come to their team and increase their team's performance and total goal.
Patience, do you want to get some water while I jump in?
Okay, I have water here already.
Oh, okay. Take a break. Yeah. Yeah. So while Patience is just catching her breath, she said some important things there, and I just want to quickly highlight two while before she comes back. She talked about self-discovery. I think about what do we need to do when we want to discover ourselves. And sometimes we find it difficult, and I think we all ask that question: who am I? I don't know if you have asked that question yourself before. That who am I? If anybody asks me that, who is this person? How will I answer? Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this 360 self-assessment. If you have not done it, you should do it. The self-assessment, and there are different types out there, and it tells you the kind of personality that you have, the kind of person that you are. It will tell you if you're the type of person that likes to avoid conflict. It will tell you if you are an A-type person, or you're a domineering person, or you are a leader, you have a leadership characteristics, or you are a soft person. It will give you an idea of you discovering yourself. And why do I say this? Especially when you go for an interview, the first question that we'll ask you, do you guys know about it? Tell me who you are. That's the first question they'll ask you when you go for an interview. So tell me who you are. And as Christian said, they've already seen your resume. So you going and telling them, oh, I was in 1948, I was doing this in 1950. I went to this school, I went to that school. They've already seen all that on the resume. So ability to be able to be dynamic, to be different, and that will go into you discovering who you are. And by the time you speak to that job and you look at the essential skills that is required for that particular job, and you've looked at it, you've matched it with your own characteristics, your own skills, soft skills, and you can talk, eloquently about those jobs and say, you know what, because I know that I'm an A-type person, and the kind of person that you need for this particular job is somebody that that can look at the customer and talk to them and try to convince them on the products that we sell. I think it fits with my character, things like that. So those are the things that I think will help us when we are looking at selling ourselves in this market. And the second thing I also want to quickly jump on is that I want you guys to remember that all the speakers, they are not career professionals. They are just giving based on their own background, based on their own experience. That's why they are sharing all this. So it's just a disclaimer that we're not saying that whatever we're saying here is cut and dry. That is the only way. This is just one way. And I'm sure you guys have different platforms that you gather information from. You have LinkedIn, you have, Simply, you have different kind of things that you have to gather your information from, and you use all that information. You build yourself, you build a portfolio for yourself, and with that, you'll be able to launch out and know who you are, know the skills that you carry, so that at the end of the day, you can sell yourself. In different scenarios, and your employer, you see that you bring value because you already know what you carry and you can sell what you carry. Because if you don't sell yourself, nobody's going to do it. So Patience, I'm going to jump out and give you the opportunity to continue.
Wow, thank you so much. For some strange reason, I don't know why my voice. Thank you. I got water, and Real, thank you so much. I feel much better now. So how do we align our development path and set goals and act? And Mike said something. He talked about being working in grocery. You're able to converse, and literally what he was saying was how one gets sales experience. Technically, almost everybody has gotten one form of sales experience or the other. And majority of organizations you're going to work in Canada, one part of the skill set they will need is a sales expertise. Being able to hold a sales conversation. That is an inherent skill that is in almost all of us. And Mike also talking about disclaimer regarding the fact that yes, whatever all we're talking about are experiences, our own experiences. Every other person can have something absolutely different. Now, problem skills includes communication, problem solving, responsibility. Oh my gosh, it's coming again. Okay, so these are examples of skill set that is effective in any role you choose to apply for. Commitment, delegating, creativity, positivity, and so much more. Now, I believe all of us have seen 4 or 5 skills here that we can very well relate to. Giving and receiving feedback is a skill. Being able to motivate our colleagues, our neighbors is a skill. Communication is a skill. Conflict resolution is a skill. Being positive is a skill. Being able to delegate is a skill. Being creative is a skill, and so much more. So now tell me, why would we say we don't have Canadian knowledge? I can bet my all I have that all of us here can very well say we have more than 2 or 3 of these skills, and this alone makes us ready for any role we want to apply to. And remember again, I'm going to also deviate and just speak. I know I don't have much time. Speak a little on networking, sponsorship, and mentorship. Networking. Your network is your net worth. You are the CEO of you. Why network? Anytime you are interacting with another human being, you are networking. Network makes things easier. Don't let the space you live in be your rest place. You need to know who to contact to move on from here to here. Question: what are some of the things that hold us back in networking? What we are doing today, right now, is networking. I have seen some names here that I'm going to go on LinkedIn and say, hey, hi, my name is Patience. I met you over at the CMP Newcomer workshop that we had on Saturday. And this is me already breaking the barrier where we have become network partners automatically. It's one of the easiest things for all of us to take as a part of us. Anytime you find yourself in a gathering that you think you could benefit from one way or the other, make sure you get the names of the people in that gathering. As soon as it ends, make sure it's within at least 24 to 48 hours. Go on LinkedIn, whatever network you feel, platform you feel, you can contact the person and say, hello, my name is Haha. I was at the workshop. Oh, you spoke intelligently. Or I love the question you asked. I would love to throw more light. You have what Nigerians call, you don't enter the person with that, because at that point he or she would want to all, because you have asked a question that he or she must provide an answer for. Like I said before, when you are in a gathering or a session, you should be networking. By the time you ask somebody one-on-one, 3 to 5 questions, you already know enough to keep the conversation going. Ask open-ended questions. The key is to be present, listen, and be authentic. When you feel nervous during networking, it means you are thinking too much about yourself. Try to remove self-thoughts and be there because you want to gain, because you want to learn, because you want to acquire, because you want to live there knowing that you're going to network with 1 or 2 persons that you have met in that workshop. And again, if sometimes if you're struggling with how do I even start, try to ask open-ended questions that start with who, what, when, why, where, how. Oh, how do you love the weather today? That alone, the person would have to stop for at least 3 to 4 sentences. While he or she is talking, you are already in, because you are the one that is after something. You are already smartly making up another statement again to go. And if how's the weather? Oh, you love the weather. Oh, and the magic sentence is, oh, tell me more. What else? Really? That is you making the person talk. And he or she will be, oh wow, Patience seems really intelligent. Oh wow, she's really interested. That mutual interest. By the time you are sending him or her an email the next day, those questions you asked has registered something. And again, I don't want to forget to say this. When somebody tells you no, the reason does not even matter anymore. For instance, you apply for a job, or you accosted somebody that you want to have a chat with them, and he or she says no. Don't let that deter you, because I've come to tell myself that no means next opportunity. It doesn't mean that's the end. It just means that wasn't my opportunity. It means Patience, move on to the next opportunity, because there's so much more waiting for you. Success is not
Yes, Patience. So on that line,
Yeah.
I just want to let you know that we will be moving on soon. So maybe you have 1 minute to end.
1 moment. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Success is not owned, it is rented, and the expiration is daily. Self-discipline is the bank of success. I had some networking questions that I wanted us to share, but time is gone. I'll just say 2. What are the primary responsibilities? That's when you ask to network somebody. You could ask somebody, how much variety is there in your work? Say something that will interest the person. Then I'll talk about mentorship. Mentorship is an ongoing relationship between a mentor and a mentee. The mentor is seen to logically hold the hands of the mentee and lead them through a terrain that the mentor is familiar with and is trying to make the mentee understand and get used to. What is sponsorship? Sponsorship is defined as who is going to speak for me in certain forum, speak for you in certain forum. The person that is going to mention your name at the seat that you and I cannot get to for now, at the decision table, that is sponsorship. We all at some point in our career be entrepreneur, even own a business. It's always good to look out for somebody that will mentor you, or a sponsor, and a sponsor. My time has run out, as I've seen. I will have to stop now. Please have your questions ready. and we'll tackle in the Q&A segment. And if we can't reach your questions today, we'll take it away and have it ready for you. I hope we had an impactful conversation, save for my throat, but that is what real life issues all about. I hope I've been able to provide you insights on how to approach your endeavors in Canada. Thanks for having me. Feel very free to reach out to leadership of CMP with your questions and concerns. We have two more intelligent humans here to share wonderful insights and continue the empowering and uplifting of us all. I will now vacate the floor for the host, Mike. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Patience. I'm not surprised. You have so much to offer, and I'm sure that the people on the platform will take advantage of connecting with you. By the way, did I mention that Patience is an assistant branch manager with TD Bank? So for those of you that are looking for connections in the banking sector, she's your person. So try and take advantage of this opportunity. Our time is fast spent, so I'm just going to quickly let you know, if you have any question, you can raise your hand. We want this to be as conversational as possible, as much as possible. There's a raise hand icon. You can click it. We'll call on you. You ask your question. If you have any comments you want to share, please feel free to share those comments. We are all Nigerians here, so there is no trying to, sugarcoat anything, right? So feel free, ask questions, and if you can't ask, you can always type your questions in. With that, I will like to introduce our next speaker, Mrs. Aramide Ademidun. Mrs. Ademidun, she has a bachelor's and master's degree in chemistry from the University of Lagos. She also has a bachelor's of professional studies in education at Niagara University, at Niagara. And she has a diploma in early childhood education, OCT qualification, primary, junior, and intermediate. Before migrating to Canada, she worked as an analytical chemist with Federal Environmental Protection Agency. She also worked as a research chemist at Dunlop Mayer PLC, and also as an auditor of Petroleum Equalization Fund. Currently, she works as an OCT. She's married with 3 children. She loves the Lord. She also enjoys serving the Lord. I will yield the floor to Mrs. Aramide Ademidun.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Patience, for those wonderful, encouraging words. And thank you, everybody, for coming out. It's not... You are investing in your future, and we always think that, if something is good for us or if something is good for people, then people would definitely take up that offer. But we know that's not really the truth. So while I pull up my slides, I have a quick icebreaker. It's called 2 Truths and a Lie. So you're going to figure out which one is the truth, you're going to figure out which one is the lie, because I have 2 truths and 1 is a lie. And these are my 3 statements. The first one is, I have 5 brothers. The second one is, I have a mortgage agent license, as well as a life insurance license. And the third one is, I have 2 daughters. So if you think you know which one it is, unmute yourself and just say which one. Okay, there's no right or wrong answer. This isn't a judging.
I think the second one is false.
What's the second one?
Mortgage agent license and life insurance license, except you are in WFP.
That's actually true. That's actually true.
You have 2 daughters.
I actually have 2 daughters. So the false one, I have 4 brothers. So the false one is the last one. I have 4 brothers, not 5 brothers. Okay. So I hope you can see my, can you see my slides, Mike? Dr. Mike?
No, it's not up yet.
It's not up yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm hoping it comes up because...
Okay. I see something showing
Why?
as presentation, but it's not. Maybe you, I don't know if that's supposed to be a different screen. Do you have two
Okay.
computers?
Okay.
Oh, there you go. So
Okay.
it's coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I stopped it. Interesting. So I'm hoping that by the end of today, I would have encouraged someone or motivated someone, not necessarily to become a teacher, but to consider a career in education.
Do you still want to share or no?
Yes, I'm still sharing. So it's
Okay.
going to come up. Now I know it just takes a while, so I'll be patient for it to come up. I do have a disclaimer slide, and that's going to be the first slide I will share. But maybe I should just talk about my journey while my screen is coming up. So from my bio, you'll see I wasn't a teacher in Nigeria. I didn't study education or anything. But when I got to Canada, I guess maybe I was looking for what I can do as a form of business. And then the idea of going to study early childhood education came up. Maybe setting up my daycare or something along that line. But then I started working. Fortunately for me, after my first year of working in a daycare, it's called a regional center. So it was a very, very beautiful place. Like anybody who came in there from Nigeria would say, can we come and establish something like this back in Nigeria? But after a year, I became the assistant director in that center. It wasn't an easy thing. There were a lot of girls who thought, well, who am I? I'm just coming in. I only have 1 year experience as an ECE. And the next year at my appraisal, I was actually now made the director of another center because the organization I worked for, it's a nonprofit, and they had 3 or 4 different centers. So the next year at my appraisal, so within 2 years or 3 years, I went from graduating freshly with a diploma in early childhood education to becoming the director of a center where we had about 20 staff. We had over 100 families that were enrolled in that center. So you can see my slide now, I presume. Correct. Okay. So, and then from there, I worked with the Y. I got into the school board, still as an early childhood educator. And it was from there I went to Teachers College and then became a full-fledged teacher. So the APRIL2021 is Ontario Certified Teacher. So let me go back to my slide because that's, I can pin it, I find. Okay. First slide, that's me. And then my second slide shows, this is a disclaimer. And the disclaimer here is that in the province of Ontario, teaching is a highly regulated profession. Education as a whole is governed by the Education Act, and things change, policies change, hiring procedures change. So I'm saying this because I don't want 2 weeks, 2 months, a year down the line, policies have changed, and then someone says, oh, but Aramide said this is it. No, things change, and as my son would say, the culture we should be imbibing, a growing mindset, as I call it growing, because it's a continuous process, is one of gathering and hunting, and not one of waiting for you to spoon feed you. So we should all know that we are going to continue to grow. Policies will change. We cannot hold on to whatever we heard today as what is going to be important in the future. So with my journey, I know most of us say, oh, the accent. And you can imagine you are the only Black person. Some schools, they've never seen a Black person before, believe it or not. In this GTA area, there are schools like that. And then you go in. Obviously, you have an accent. Obviously, I have an accent, and I know it. And I proudly will tell my students, hey, Mrs. A has a different accent. You can hear it in my voice. I can't change it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just different. So there, I set my tone and pace for them So nobody has the opportunity to make fun of my accent or make me even feel like, oh, you're speaking badly. Even with my colleagues, straight off, my accent is different. It may be hard for you to really understand me. And I'm okay with you asking me to repeat myself, because I don't know if you've noticed, a lot of times Canadians don't like to ask you to repeat because they feel like it's rude. So I'm okay with you asking me to repeat myself. I will gladly do that. And again, for me, Patience spoke about who you are. When I started, I looked at it, all these teachers, they have years of experience, they've been teaching for so long, or they've been a part of the system. So they understand the games, they understand the expectation. And I decided to carve my own niche. What's my niche? My niche is one, I like to work with students with special needs. So either those who are gifted or those who are struggling. I don't mind. Those with behaviors, I will take them on. My colleagues will see me the way I work with these students and then recommend me. Parents will recommend me based on that. My second niche is parent interaction. Like, a lot of teachers do not like to interact with parents. And I've made it a point of duty that there is no parent that will pass through me that will not go back to the principal and give the principal a good recommendation concerning me. So those were the two things I carved out as a niche for myself. I don't know if anybody is online who was a teacher in Nigeria and feels like, you know what, I'm not interested in teaching. That's a job that doesn't have a lot of benefits. That's so far from the truth. In Canada, a career in education, you're assured of job security. The benefits are really, really good, like medical benefits. When I started, health sick days were 20 sick days. That was reduced to 10, and you could carry your sick days from year to year. By the time it was reduced to 10, there were teachers who had over 100 accumulated sick days. And what they would do is that at the end, they will take it as like a leave in preparation for their retirement. The Ontario Teachers Federation has one of the best pensions in the whole of Canada. They own a lot of malls. They just have one of the best pensions. That's what we've been told. And a lot of people want it for this reason. And also, you make an impact in the future generation. Like, we can be the best we are at our place of work. If we have children, we want our children to be good as well. So as a teacher, you have a part in shaping the future generation. And there's also opportunity for career growth and also growth on a personal level. You can take up to 3 years off and still come back to your job. So the first year, you come back to your exact job. The second year, you come back to the school. The third year, you come back to the board, but then they have to assign you. They might assign you to another school. After that, you still have your job for a few more years, but when you now come back, you now have to interview to get a new job, but at the end, they'll still place you. If you have any questions, please unmute yourself and ask the question, or just type it in the board, in the chat box. So here's the thing. Before you teach in any publicly funded school in Ontario, you must have a degree in education. I had a friend, she didn't have a degree in education, but somehow she got a master's in education. She had to go back and get that BSc. Whether you're trained in Canada, outside of Canada, that is just it. There's no way around it for now, unless they change it. A few foreign trained teachers said, but they were teachers in their country, even though they do not have the education degree. They said, no, you must get an education degree. So now I have my degree, either from Nigeria, or I got a degree here in Canada. What's the next step? The next step for everybody is to go to get certified. And you get certified through the OCT, Ontario College of Teachers. So there are two things. I'm going to be looking at some acronyms, and for us to understand some of the things when we start to navigate sites, to see to understand what those acronyms are or what they really mean. So you have your degree. The next thing you need to do is go to OCT. Before you can get a job with the government, you must be licensed or certified by the Ontario College of Teachers. They give you something called an OCT number. They will look at your qualifications and say, oh, you can teach these subjects, you can teach these divisions. So we have 4 divisions. Some people will be licensed for just 1 division, some people 2 divisions. I happen to be licensed for 4 of the different divisions. So I can teach from JK all the way to grade 12. My grade 12, my senior qualification is chemistry, and my intermediate qualification is math. So those are the things I can teach on my license. I was going to show us the site. The site, you create a profile, you upload your qualifications, your certificates. They will ask you for different things. Again, these things change as years change. So you need your OCT number, which I've explained. So we get confused sometimes within Ontario College of Teachers and Teachers College. So Teachers College is basically, in Canada, you don't go in straight and become a teacher. You do your 3-year university or your 4-year university, then you've graduated, you go back. So teaching is actually a second degree in Canada, in Ontario at least. So maybe that's why they pay teachers so well. I have no idea, but you go back and you get that. Then with that, so that's what you do at Teachers College. So Teachers College is just basically university to get your B.Ed. But the good thing in Nigeria is that we do education straight. And so because of that, if you studied education in Nigeria in a university, your certificate is with WES. You get WES to send your papers to OCT, Ontario College of Teachers. They will take it and give you your qualifications and all that. Then the Ministry of Education, obviously, they do the funding. They fund the school boards of education, but the ministry does not hire you as a teacher. It is the school boards that hire you as a teacher. Halton District School Board, Halton Catholic District School Board. All Catholic boards are public schools. The only difference is that they have Catholic, they teach Catholic. For you to teach in the Catholic School Board, you must be a Catholic. You must get a letter from a priest saying you attend Mass, saying you volunteer in the school or in the church. So the first time, so OCT has certified you, you have your OCT number, you are going to go onto a website called Apply to Educate. That's the website that all the school boards in the GTA area use to hire their teachers. You will not find teachers posting on LinkedIn, sorry, not LinkedIn, on Worker Police or any of those other sites. Apply to Educate is the site that you go to upload your resume and start job hunting. There is a fee attached, but once a board hires you, you become an internal applicant and you don't have to pay that fee anymore. So for now, again, things are going to be changed. When you're hired into a pool called occasional teachers. I don't know how many of you, your kids come home and you say, how was school today? And they say, oh, we had a supply. So you're hired into a pool, and that pool simply is if there's a regular classroom teacher who is away for a day or for a period not more than 10 days, you will be called in to come and work in that class. Do you have jobs? Yes, you have jobs. You have jobs every single day, unless you're being picky. Oh, that place is too far, I can't drive far, and all that. Then you won't have a job every day. But if you are ready, willing, and able, you will have a job every single day. Then from being an occasional teacher where you get daily jobs, you become something called a long-term occasional teacher. Now, these are teachers who don't have a permanent position yet, but they can work for up to a year, covering a teacher maybe on mat leave, a teacher on medical leave, a teacher on family leave, a teacher who's just taking a leave of absence. I think that's it for those ones. I don't know if anybody has any questions for me. I'm almost going to be done. And the interesting thing about applying to teach is that if you go for a job interview, either just coming in fresh into a board or you're already in the board, by law, if you don't get that job, they must provide you with a feedback. Sometimes they'll say you ask for the feedback, but I'm noticing more and more now that nobody's waiting for people to ask for feedbacks. They're just providing you with the feedback straight away. They will tell you this is what you need to work on. This is what you did well. So the board is very good on that. They also provide workshops to assist with resume writing, as well as workshops on interviewing tips. So they tell you, we're going to ask you a question on spec ed. We're going to ask you a question on classroom management. We're going to ask you a question on you. What's your goal for professional development? All that is being asked. And then, so I know Patience did speak a little bit about how she was already like a branch manager in Nigeria, and then you come here, you have to work as a cashier. So yes, while it's Canadian knowledge, Canadian experience, transferable skills, and all that, when a principal wants to hire you, and I'll share this quick story. So I had an interview, I think it was about 6 p.m. and by 7, the principal was calling me to offer me the job. What happened? She called my reference. So you want a reference that is easily accessible, that the hiring principal can get in touch with quickly, because they're usually quick turnarounds. Yes, you got the job. No, you don't have the job. Okay, go on to the next interview. So you want to have a reference that is easily accessible. And if it's from the board, the more the better for you. This is before you get hired into the pool. And some ways to get this is by volunteering. Volunteering at your child's school once a week. With COVID and all that, things have really changed. I don't know how people are going to volunteer, but we hope COVID goes away so volunteering can start. When you're volunteering, if you are already, you would like to become a teacher, you're already a teacher, let the principal know. Let the teacher you are working with know that, hey, I'm a teacher, I'm looking to get employed by the board. It's a whole system. Everybody knows this is how it works. You don't have children. Okay, go to the school in your neighborhood, introduce yourself to them. They're going to ask you for what do we call this thing? Police reports, and you get your police report, criminal reference check. That is it. Once you start volunteering, they know you. You ask them, hey, can you please give me can I use you as my reference? And they will say yes. Usually they don't put things in writing, but the phone call and you're good. Other ways you can go in is working as yeah.
I just want to let you know that we have a few minutes more. I'll say maybe 1 or 2 minutes. So maybe
I'm almost done. Thank you.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm almost done. So you can start as educational assistants. They're always looking for them. The good thing about working in a school is the hours are so short. Well, not so short, but you can start, if you start work at 8:30, you will be done by 2:30. And then you have that whole rest of the day for you to do whatever else it is you would like to do. Also, student supervisor. A lot of people have gone on from being student supervisors to getting jobs as teachers. And so sometimes people say, oh, it's a lot to get a public job, a job with the school boards. Well, you could try private schools, which are fee-paying schools, but my experience is a lot of people end up leaving the private schools to come to the public schools. I don't know why, but you have to check with individual schools to see what their requirement is, and to see what their requirements are. And most of the private schools too can hire you actually without your OCT. So that might be an easier way for you to start. I'm open. I love helping people to prep for board interviews. I've had a lot of success helping people navigate the system. if you want, you can reach out to me. My email is teachingramsey@gmail.com, and I'll be glad to help you get through. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's that's like a teacher. You've just taken us through the ABC of how to be a teacher, and I'm sure that a good number of us will take advantage of that opportunity. For those of you that are interested in reaching out to Ms. Aramide, please send an email to our email address, and then we can connect you with her. Without further ado, I would like to introduce our next speaker. Ms. Adejisola Atiba is People Manager with RBC Royal Bank of Canada. She has been working with RBC for over 12 years and in the financial industry for over 3 decades. She's a coach, a mentor, and a community leader. She's a steering committee member of the Federation of Black Canadians, the co-founder of Black Empowerment Council of Canada. She's also a volunteer with JA Central Ontario, United Ways Canada, a mentor with Access Employment and Trike, and also an ambassador with Algoma University. She holds an accounting diploma from Yaba College of Technology, a BSc in Banking and Finance from Olabisi Onabanjo University, a bachelor's in Business Administration with minor in Human Resources Management honors with Algoma University. She has a personal financial planning designation with many professional certifications. She is currently doing an EMBA in Digital Transformation with the Group Business School, McMaster University. And of course, she's the founder and president of CMP. So, Ms. Adejisola Atiba, over to you.
Thank you very much. And I just want to welcome everybody again. And I want to say thank you to my 2 sisters from another mother, Patience Iyase and Mrs. Aramide Ademidun. Thank you so much for the wealth of knowledge that you have shared. I wasn't going to do a presentation before, but for some reason I ended up doing one. So I'm going to share. So please, this is going to be hands-on. We're going to be having to work together to do this. So I call this You, Me, New Immigrant presentation. So you, me basically means you are me, I am you, period. And that's why we do what we do. We care about our community. We want to build each other up. And that's what CMP is all about. So my name is Adejisola Atiba. Some people call me Lady Abba. Actually, it's most of the Caucasians that do that, just because they can't call my beautifully exotic name. A little bit about me. I'm married. I have 2 boys, but 3 men in my life. You can see that I'm the princess. And guess what? I don't know if they're in charge or I'm in charge. But that's me. A little bit more, I know that Muiwa has already mentioned a few things. I always tell people that banking is my passion, banking is my profession, community is my passion. Been in banking for 3 decades. I'm a people manager with RBC, community leader. I love to coach. I love to mentor, and I love to volunteer. I'm also an entrepreneur. That's something a lot of people don't know about me. And I love the Lord, and I love my neighbor. So what will I talk about? Your brand. I'm going to talk about job scan, Canadian culture, elevator pitch, relevant organizations that can help you, and other things that that comes to mind. So brand. What is your brand? We come to Canada with so much expectation. And rightfully so, because we're coming with what? Skills. We have our skills. We're coming with experience. Some of us, we have our niche. We have our uniqueness. And so your brand matters. Please don't discount it. It's important for you to be able to jot down some of your skills. Now, I said a little bit about me. If that was my resume, it's going to be much more than that. And of course, it would depend on the type of job I'm trying to look for. So what are the skills that you bring to the table? What is your experience? I was telling some people that all these things makes you, and it makes Canada tell you that you're good enough to come to Canada. Don't let anybody tell you you're not good enough, because you're better than good. So what are your skills? What's your experience? What's your niche, your uniqueness? And to crown it up, how do you now present that? That is the cocoa of the matter. Because of time, I'll be running through, because I know I only have 25 minutes. There's something called JobScan. Is there anyone here that knows about JobScan? Anybody? If you can unmute and just say, have you heard about JobScan before? Okay, so we're going to go to the website together. I'm going to copy this website and put it on the chat. Please, I need you to go, because this is a workshop. I need you to go into it. And I think I'm just going to stop sharing. I need you to go into the website and take a look, take a peek at what that is all about. So I'm going to put it in our chat. And I do need one person at least to tell me what they see. I have copied it into the chat. Please, let's go and check out what JobScan is all about, because you're going to need it. A lot of us will say, we have applied for this, they did not call me. Believe you me, if you have applied and they did not call you, it's because your resume is not telling them the story they need to hear. What is the story you're trying to tell people? Has anybody gone jobs? Please unmute and say something. Am I? I don't want to be the only one talking.
I think you need to create an account.
Yes, you need to create an account, but you can also, there's a place where it says try sample resume. So basically, but thank you, Sister Aramide, for that. Basically, what this does for you is you're actually able to put your resume, when you create your account, it's free, by the way, you're actually able to copy your resume into a box and copy the job requirements into the box, and it will scan it for you. When it scans it, it will tell you if you are actually qualified to actually be called for an interview. And people will call you for an interview if your job scan tells them that you are at least 80%. I will share again. And if you don't do the work, it will not be 80%. I did it the first time, I was at 54 for a job I wanted to apply to. And I'm like, OMG, go figure why they won't call you. So I'm gonna go into JobScan so that we see what I'm talking about. So it says try sample resume and job. If I click on that, it's putting a sample resume and a sample job description for me. And so it's scanning it, and it's saying that person is at 55%. Just so you know, if you're not at 80%, most of the time they won't call you. Remember, when you apply, let's say it's LinkedIn, it will tell you how many hundreds or thousands of people have applied. So imagine if you're 55, they're not even going to give you a call. So this is something you should do for yourself before you apply for that job. And that's why we always say that your resume doesn't stay the same. You need to tweak it. And you're able to tweak it because you have the skills. Patience talks about you being able to resolve problems. Talks about you being able to talk to people, communication skills, problem resolution. You have those skills. You just need to be able to understand what they call it here. So it's very important for you to take away this job scan and use it to your benefit before you apply for that next job. So basically, that's what that does. It will scan and it will tell you whether you're good to go. Now, I want to talk about Canadian culture. Most people that knows me knows that I'm very, very passionate. And by the way I'm talking now is not the way I normally would talk. I'm talking this way because I need everybody I want to carry everybody along, and I want people to understand what I'm saying. This is the way I talk at work. Remember, some of my other speakers already talked about accent. So if you have an accent, and I feel that every one of us, not just Africans, but every one of us have accents. So if you're speaking to someone and you're speaking with the tone and pace that you normally will speak to someone from your culture, you're going to ostracize someone that doesn't know your culture. So it's important the way you speak, that you speak with empathy, putting yourself in other person's shoes. I want to carry them along. I want them to hear what I'm saying. It's very important. There's some nonverbal cues. In my culture, normally when I fold my hand on my chest, I'm standing at attention, kind of, focused and listening and all that. But when we do that, they say that it is closed. We have a closed outlook. We're not listening. It's like we want to be somewhere else. So it's important that we know all those little things. Here from Nigeria, when we're talking to our elders, we don't tend to look them in the eye. It's a sign of respect. No, it's not a sign of respect in Canada. Yes, remember they said they have diversity and inclusion. They're still working on the inclusion part. Diversity is good, but the inclusion is still in the works because that is our culture. Maybe we need to let them know that that's the way we are. But if you don't look at people in the eye in this culture, they feel you don't know what you're doing. They feel you're not smart enough. Another thing we don't do is we don't tell our story. I came to Canada, I actually put my head down. I'm like, yes, just get all the certificates, just upskill, and just do the best you can. No, that's not the Canadian way. Patience mentioned it that Ontario is yours to discover. Canada as a whole is actually yours to discover. You are the only one that can actually tell your story the way you want it told. And if you're not telling it, guess what? They will put your round peg into a square hole. And you don't want that. You want to tell people who you are. And that's why it's so important to brand yourself. Understand those skills that makes you different. Understand your uniqueness, your value proposition, who you are. Don't let anybody tell you who you are. Be the one to tell your story. Be the author of your story. Volunteering. Believe you me. In your resumes, don't bother putting references, by the way, but put volunteering if you do volunteer. What you're telling Canadian is that it's not just all about me. I love to give my time to others. That's what you're telling Canadians. I love to give my time to others. I appreciate the uniqueness of Canada. I want to participate. I want to give my time. That is what you're telling them by volunteering. I'll stop sharing, but I'll keep talking to my thing. And then, of course, at work, you need to be a team player. So how will they see you or know your expertise if you are not showing up? If you're not raising your hand to be that champion for something. When you're a champion for something, guess what? You're learning. You're learning by being a champion for something at work. Your manager will know that you're a good person to go to. You're a team player. Be that person that can upskill somebody else. Peer-to-peer coaching, we'll call it. Be that person that will go above and beyond. Yes, it may take you a little bit more time because believe you me, it's usually not about 9 to 5. It's always much more than that. You want to make sure you understand certain things. I remember during the time the Raptors actually won the basketball challenge, we were celebrating and somebody said, "What are you guys celebrating? I don't even understand what this Raptor thing is all about. What is so unique about them?" And I remember when I came to Canada, and my husband will always talk about Raptor. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Why are you not focused? Why are you so insistent on supporting Raptors when they're not good? But the point is, we're Canadians. Now, believe you me, it doesn't matter how good anybody else is, it's Raptor for me. I've seen somebody say, oh, Adejisola, can you imagine I went to Subway and I wanted to order a Subway and I told them, can I have a Subway? And they said, what bread do you want? I'm like, what bread do I want? What does that even mean? So all those little things matter. By the time you said, okay, just give me the regular bread. So they said, white bread? Said, yes. The girl said, okay, what do you want on it? It's like, what do I have? Anything. So, okay, we have chicken, we have bacon, we have this, we have that. And he's like, really? Can you just make it a little easier for me? But when we're here, we tend to take it for granted. But when new people come, they don't know all these things. So all those little things matter. Whatever we can do to help and take somebody else to the next level, or to understand the little dynamics of Canada, it would really, really help. So the next thing I want to talk about is elevator pitch. And this, again, I really need us to work on this together. What does elevator pitch even mean? What does it mean? I'll stop sharing because I need to, I need to go back and forth. So elevator pitch is a brief, persuasive speech that you use to spark interest. That's what elevator pitch is all about. Now, this person doesn't know you. They don't have your resume. You're meeting them for the first time, but you want to make an impression. So what are you going to tell them? What is important to you that you want somebody else to know about? There's a website, I'm going to share it, and you can go there later and to play around. But the most important thing, again, is all about your brand, because it's your brand that you're really going to be putting together to make your elevator pitch. So I'm posting that too. Please take those websites so that you can work on them. So your elevator pitch could be about your organization. Maybe you want to talk about your organization, or you want to talk about yourself, which is really key for new immigrants. You want to talk about yourself. Who are you? Why should I listen to you? Why should I want to engage with you? Why should I want to talk to you? You may also want to use elevator pitch for projects, to share project ideas, product ideas, or any idea for that matter. So I would encourage everyone using LinkedIn to actually have an elevator pitch. You want to join that person's network. Don't just connect. Put the elevator pitch together and send it. It will spark their interest. It will show that you've gone above and beyond to introduce yourself to them. A good elevator pitch should not last longer than 20 to 30 seconds. Believe you me, 20 to 30 seconds is a long time. It's a long time. You can actually put about 5 sentences together. I'm doing a video for 30 seconds and it's about 5 sentences. So you can do that. So try and work on your elevator pitch. So organizations that can help. I'm going to copy all these organizations and put it on the chat. One is the Dufferin Peel. I really want to share this because this one is actually also my story. When I came to Canada, eventually, when I got introduced to the right person, because the person you meet matters, when I got introduced to the right person, this was where I was introduced to. I was introduced to the Dufferin Peel Catholic District School Board, the Adult Learning Center. So the Adult Learning Center, they have two locations. One, actually the two are in Mississauga. I actually went to St. Gabriel Adult Learning Center. So what do they do? Way back then, I'm talking about, I've been in Canada now for about 16 years. So way back then, and they're still in the business, by the way, way back then, it's a 6 months program, 3 months in class and 3 months co-op. So for the 3 months in class, they were teaching me English and Canadian culture and a host of other things. And they actually met medical doctors, engineers, people from diverse background and industry and from diverse culture. And some of them were actually still friends today. And the 3 other months, I did it as a volunteer with RBC, as a co-op student with RBC. and I've always been with RBC since then. And I know so many people that got placed in various banks and even universities way back then, and they're still doing it. So all you need to do if you're looking to, get into the system, again, I want you to remember that while you're job searching, this is actually your vacation time. The minute you get into the system, believe you me, it just goes on and on and on, and there's no peace. And then you'll be looking for weekends. So enjoy it if you're not working right now, but put in the works to get you to where you want to go. So this is, I highly recommend it. And also there's Access Employment. They have series of programs that they, do together with places like Sheridan. I did put the link there. So please take a look. You got to put in a little bit of work to be able to know where to go and how to navigate things. And also there's costing. So I put all those three because I'm very, very familiar with all these three. So please, please, please take the time to go into those websites and see what they offer. And that's it for the organizations. Now I want to talk about others. Do I still have time? Am I good for time?
No, you're actually not. You're
so what
actually
did you tell me? Okay, I'll just quickly wrap this. 1 minute. 1 minute, thank you. So others, it's important to network. Patience already talked about it. Mrs. Aramide talked about it. Network, network, network. Don't think that because we're not having this face-to-face, you can't talk to anybody. This is a good time to network. Pick one or two. I always tell people, at least get to know one person a day. Pick one or two people. If you haven't met anybody this week, today is Saturday, pick 6 people from CMP and reach out to them. You have to have a culture of continuous learning. My CEO, Dave Mackay, he is still learning. He's a CEO. He earns millions of dollars. So if they learn, we should learn. What are your skills? I already talked about branding. What are your hard skills? Nigerians, we have hard skills, boku, na social education, na social certificate. Our hard skills informs our soft skills. Our soft skills actually informs our transferable skills. Believe you me, it's good to have an open mindset, a growth mindset. Let's not be fixated on one thing and one thing alone. Experience matters. It's part of what makes you. Don't discount it. Now, this is something I tell everybody now, give it all it takes. It's not about doing my best. Believe you me, your best may not be good enough. Give it all it takes. And I'm going to end with the fact that you can do it. I've done it. Dr. Ogunlaja has done it. Mrs. Aramide has done it. A lot of wonderful people. Patience has done it. A lot of people have done it. There's nothing stopping you except yourself. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so very much. I love the last sentence where she says, you can do it. Yes, we can. We definitely can. Like we've all agreed. The fact that we have moved from Nigeria down here, we are already superstars. Let's just go and take those stars. Right now we are Q&A, question and answers. If you have questions, you can put it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask the questions, or you could raise your hands with the raise hand emoji right down here, and we'll call you. Please feel absolutely free to ask questions, because we're actually here to be better humans. We want to leave this session a better human than we came in. So feel free to use the opportunity to ask any question you want to ask. Thank you in advance. Does anybody want to ask? Okay.
I think, is it a question I have now or an encouragement? I don't know, people that are new, that are looking for network opportunity, please take advantage of the CMP mentoring program to connect with people. I can tell you how valuable it is for someone to even look at your resume, for someone to hear you answer some regular interview questions. it does a lot for you going into that interview. And I think this has been said before, don't look down on a lower level. Sometimes you go into that lower level, you make your mistakes, then when the dream job comes, you are already empowered in a way and hopefully not make that same mistake again. So please take advantage of the CNP mentoring program.
Somebody asks, what are the 5 bullets of branding? So I'm just gonna paste it on in the chat. So I just did that. Again, skills, your skills matter, your experience matter. What's your niche? What is your uniqueness? And how you present and how you're putting it together and presenting yourself. How do people see you?
Good. And I love how you broke in the skills, experience, your niche, your uniqueness, and presentation. Which also means in a question way, who am I? What do I love to do? What makes me happy? What value do I bring to you? What value do I bring to the table? So if you marry both, they're basically the same thing. But these are just different ways for you to understand what you're branding, what you want your brand to be like. Is somebody asking a question? Please ask those questions so we can rack our brain. Don't make it too easy for us, please.
Or just maybe, we did a slam dunk kind of job, right? So I was talking about Raptors just now, so maybe it was a slam dunk. We don't need to say anything else. But I just want. Hi.
So you said you were going to post the links on the chat, but none of them are showing except for Mind Tools and the job scan.
Oh, they're not. Okay. So
yeah.
Maybe I'll post them one by one then. Thank you for that.
So my question is, so for the new landed immigrants that are just coming from Nigeria, that they don't even know where to start from, what do you advise them? Are they supposed to, first thing they need to do, try to get Canadian education, or what exactly?
Patience, you want to take that or you want me to take it?
Yeah, you take it. Take it.
Okay, thank you very much. So if you're new to the country, what education are you going to take? What do you know that you're going to do? You don't know anything. So why would you go in the route of education first? Yes, you have to have a culture of continuous learning, but you need to know what you're going to do before you enhance that skill set within you. I know of people that have done insurance and then they did CSC and they're not using any of it. It's money and time wasted. So what you should do when you come into the country is look for organizations like Council of Nigerian Professionals. If you know anybody trying to get into the country, you need to connect them with Council of Nigerian Professionals. Why? We're sharing links where people can actually get to understand the Canadian culture. Sister Aramide just mentioned that we're having a mentoring program. Mentoring program is about understanding the you and how the me can support you, whether it is career, whether it's professional, whether it's personally, So you need to understand where you're going first before you now do the education so that you don't waste money and you don't waste time. And yes, it is good to study in Canada, but you need to know where you're going first. I don't know if anybody wanna add to that.
Yeah, I would love to add 1 or 2 cents to that. For just like what Adejisola said, landing in Canada, from what we have said is you still have to know yourself. We have to, the most issue, most I think issue that we'll run into is we don't take time to know ourselves before we rush into jobs or rush into what the person we're staying with is telling us or what the friends, has told us. I think if we take time to know ourselves, for instance, the person was maybe used to work in the bank back in Nigeria or worked in an oil company in Nigeria. That system is quite different from here. Take time, step down, look for organizations that can assist you. One thing between us and the Indians, I know the Indians, the Chinese, they have strong, even the Filipinos, they have strong organizations here in Canada that as you land, they are dragging you in. Within weeks, they've connected it with Access Employment, they've connected it with TRIAC. By the time you are 6 months in Canada as an Indian or an Asian, a Chinese, they've attended more than 50 interviews. Because the first thing they do is go straight to the organization as soon as they land. I think that is the message we should be distributing to our people. Like for instance, to God be the glory, 31 of us here have information today that if we went to go and look for information on our own, it would take at least a year to get all the information, all the links I've gotten on this networking call today in the last 1 hour, 30 minutes. So to answer your question, Olawumi, I would say the first thing we should do, look for an organization like CMP, ask questions, because when you ask, we would answer you truthfully, because we have one goal, just to make us all grow and get to where we aspire to get to.
Thank you.
And another thing I want to add is, don't be shy to ask for help. Okay, so this organization, I don't need to know you to refer you. There's so many times I just send people to patients and say, please, they're looking for a job in TD, just refer them. And she will refer, she doesn't need to know them. Remember, I said this before, Canada has already validated your skills, your experience, your certificate. They said you're good enough to come to Canada. That's enough for me. That's enough for us in CMP. We will refer you. You heard Ms. Aramide say, reach out to me. She even posted her email there. And that's the way we should work together. That's the way we should work together. Now, I will not say, because when I came in 16 years ago, the banks don't give credit card and they don't give mortgage. And I'll say, oh, no, they're not going to give you credit card. Don't worry about it. They're not going to give you mortgage. Why am I saying that? Because that's what I know. But things have changed. And things will continue to change. And that's what Aramide said the other time. Yes, we're presenting you some of these links and things like that. Change is something that we can't hold on to. It changes. Things change. So we need to be always looking for information. But if you're looking for referral, please reach out to the leadership of CMP. If there's anybody that is working there, we will get that person for you.
Any more questions, contributions?
I hope nobody has a question. I have a quick contribution. I'm not sure I said this. I had it in my notes to say, and that is a lot of us coming to Canada. Again, my passion is children, so I will go back to your children. And you hear they say, oh, you can't correct your child. That is not true. It's just that you cannot cause physical, emotional, or mental abuse on your child, but you can correct your children. Please do not just let your children go wild. Make sure you are imbibing good values in them. Make sure you're imbibing good values in them. Make sure you're checking what they're doing in school. Don't just rely on them saying, it's all good. Make sure you are friendly with the teachers. You're not fighting with them. Make sure when they ask your child to go and look for 20 items in the house that starts with the letter B, you get it for them, because that is what they're going to be assessed on. I know this isn't about students today, but I just feel we're new to Canada. It's also important for us to understand the education system our children are going into.
Thank you so much for that. And I also want to add that when we come to Canada, we see that they're actually 2 worlds apart. The way we do things in Nigeria and the way things are done in Canada. Believe you me, there are wonderful, wonderful things in the way we do things in Nigeria, but some of them do need tweaking. And there are great things in Canada, and some of them do need tweaking. Because we are experienced, we can do the melting pot, meet in between, and give our children the best of both worlds. And, God will help us all.
Amen.
So can we go on to the closing remarks, Patience?
Yeah, it's 6:50 now, and we'll call on Emmanuel to give the closing remarks.
Sorry, can I say, I must ask question. I don't know if it's actually one of our one of the program that the CMP is planning, the mortgage. Maybe somebody should come and talk about it. I don't know if that has been done before. How to get housing and all around it.
Absolutely. You can consider it done. Actually, part of our corporate sponsors, we have mortgage brokers there. We have bankers that can talk to you. So we will do it. Actually, in our first year, we did so much about finance because we know that creation of wealth is really important. So we will try and do that. Oh, Ademidun, fast on your raised hand.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have a question before you guys go, because I know you guys are trying to round up. I want to ask a question that in a workplace, when you have a colleague who tries to put you down and is trying to make your work look as if you really don't know what you are doing, how do you manage that person? And you don't want a situation where you guys would have an issue, or you understand, so what do you do in such situation? How do you manage this person and it does not affect you emotionally, and you be able to manage? For sure, most times people say when you're in the workplace, don't think they are your friends, just you guys do the work and try to be a team player. But sometimes when people get on your nerves, it tends to start affecting you emotionally. So how do you manage such situations in the workplace?
Great question.
That's my
I know
question.
everybody. Thank you so much for that question. While you're asking, I noticed Aramide smiled, Adejisola smiled, because your question took us back a bit further, because I'm sure we've all had experiences. I think that every Nigerian that has worked here has gone through what you just said. Every Nigerian. I did. I'm so sure I did. But one thing that helped me, I kept telling myself, it is not me that has the problem. It is the person. And with that, I was able to overcome. At some point, when the person will be talking, my facial impression, my body language, he would realize this lady is not in for what the level I'm in right now. So that was how I was able to pass through, but I passed that experience. But I want Adejisola to also share, and Aramide, so let's have different perspective on how to tackle, because this is a recurrent issue. Sometimes I know it's because we as Nigerians, we are very intelligent, we know what we are, so we are already naturally intimidating. Get that in mind. We naturally intimidate people around us. So with that, they will always want to come at us in a very practical way, to come in our face. But tell yourself, it is not me that has a problem, it is you. So you deal with your problem. I'm fine as I am. Please, Adejisola, take over, add a word or two, then Aramide will do the same thing.
Thank you very much. And I will add, in addition to what Patience says, that you need to be the bigger person. That you got to learn to ignore certain things. You already know that this person is trying to get under your skin. And believe you me, it may even happen with Nigerians to Nigerians. It may happen with other Africans to us. It may happen with Caribbeans to us. You have to stand above. Remember what Michelle Obama said? When they go low, we go high. That's just the way. You know what you want, like she said. And that's why I said, don't discount your skills, your experience, your situation. Don't discount any of this. It makes you. and you are seriously a leader already. I mean, nobody comes to Canada if they've not attained certain level of success in Nigeria. You must be working, you must have good income, so you must have some form of education. So you already have what it takes. And some people actually, when they come to Canada, we keep saying having continuous learning. Some people don't even need to do anything before they get the job of their dreams. It is very possible. So when they go low, you must go high. There's a Yoruba adage that I just want to hide. You pretend as if you did not even hear what they're saying. The way you'll be dealing with them, you deal with them on a professional level. Shikena. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, Aramide, 1 minute, please.
Yeah, I think everybody has said it. I would want to add document incidences. And when you're documenting it, you have to be very factual, devoid of emotions, and say exactly what happened. I submitted the reports on time. He or she said, I didn't. Keep your screenshots, whatever it is, just keep them. Because while we don't like to report or tell on our colleagues, they can tell on you. And so when they tell on you, you can bring it out and say, this is it. But one thing is, never discuss the person with someone else. Never discuss the person with someone else. If you are discussing with a friend or anybody, let it not be in a public place. And yeah, just try and be confidential as you possibly can. That's what I would like to add.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for asking the question. Emmanuel Okorafor is an honors graduate with a double major in law and justice and political science. He's in the process of writing his LSAT to gain admission to law school. He's an entrepreneur. He volunteers with various NGOs. He's a digital team member with CNP. Please, Emmanuel, you have the floor and kindly do the closing remarks. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I just want to say thank you to all our speakers for informative information, and even just reminding us the importance of transferable skills as well as the importance of networking to build our circle. Now, in CMP, we believe to give an honor to whom honor is due, and that is why we shout out our sponsors in every event. To start off with, Ms. Deborah Holmes, who is a realtor. And next, Mr. Emmanuel Obanjo, who is a team at Team 100 in Milton. Mr. Toby Abioye, who's an independent financial advisor, and Ms. Esther Abraham, who's also a realtor, who can provide you great sales. Ms. Yemese Aladesu, who's a writer at Homes, also a realtor, and we also have Seda Biz Solutions Inc., which provides services such as bookkeeping, HR payroll, and business consulting. Ms. Jane Ikea, who works at BMO, who can help you find and advise you on financial plans and as well as mortgages, and as well as Strive Relationship Coaching, which is run by Ms. Bose, which can help you with marriage makeover, faith-based counseling, and single coaching. One in Town, which is open for delivery as well, available for delivery as well within Milton, which offers freshly baked goods and lighthouse food, African American food, groceries, you name it, frozen, dried, canola oil, palm oil, you name it, they have it. Iris Palette, which offers fresh taste at a great price, and Kizo Pixel Photography, which can help you with portraits and professional retouching. Our next event is our mentoring program, which is for Saturday, May 8th, 2021. So please join to connect and be matched with mentors and to, again, create a better networking circle for yourself. I'll be handing it off to Mr. Mike for the.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. That brings us to the end of our event. Thank you for staying till the end. We hope that you gained one or two things. If you did, share with your community the story of CMP. Be an ambassador. Bring somebody else up. Share with newcomers coming in. And let us all grow together. Thank you again and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Enjoy your weekend. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye and thank you.